scrappy peeps, it's Inkie Quill and coming at you face to face today because we're filming one of my most exciting videos to film, which is a craft room tour, because we're moving in 3 days. Now, I'm not freaking out, I'm very much freaking out, but I haven't touched my craft room yet. Haven't packed anything. I lie, I packed one box of random shenanigans that were on the floor. But yes, I haven't packed anything yet. So I thought I'd film a craft room tour because I love watching craft room tours, and we've moved so many times. This is our 7th move in 12 years, and we also just like to move our furniture around the house a lot, and it's nice to look back at the different evolutions, how my craft room art studio has been. So come along on this crazy journey and I'll chat about things that are working, things that aren't working, things that I want to change into the new space that I'm in, and some of my favourite craft storage organisation things as well. I should just add that we're in summer here at the time of filming this in Australia. It is so hot, and I usually have my fan going in here, so if I start to look a bit melted and red, excuse that. And if the cicadas, they're quite dull at the moment, but if they start to go like, then just excuse them. They can't help themselves, and they love to make the noise when I'm filming videos. Okay, one last quick thing, I promise. If you follow me along on Instagram, you'll know that my neighbours are lovely. They're all lovely, but I live in a neighbourhood that cares a lot about their lawn maintenance and gardening, which is fab. Their lawns look amazing, but they always tend to connect the times that I want to record things with the times they do their lawn maintenance. Now at the moment, no one is doing anything. We can hope that no one gets out their whippersnippers anytime soon. I realise that you might not know what a whippersnipper is. It sounds a bit strange. A whippersnipper is the that you do the sides of the lawn with to get the long bits. That's what a whippersnipper is. It's not anything else. Alrighty, so this is the craft room. So we have a spare bedroom, which is very lucky. The children's room is right next door to me, so I can't really do anything while they're sleeping. Luckily they're not here at the moment, but I'll give you a bit of an overview. So I have the closets of doom that we'll talk about in a little while. And then this is my one good storage wall. So I have a big calyx unit. I have a 4x4 with a 2x4 on top, which we will go through in a moment. And I will put you on the tripod and make you not shaky. And then this is my desk, which I created using IKEA bits and pieces, and it has worked fabulously. I've got my beloved brown bookcase over there. I think we named it on Patreon. I think we called it, did we call it Bruce? Bruce is ringing a bell. And then I have this little storage bit right here. Also, you may hear the noises of like that, of tape. Which sounds very ominous. The sound of like tape being pulled from a tape dispenser, like sticky tape, moving clear tape. It's very, I don't know, I watch too much true crime, but you will hear that in the background because Aaron, Inky Beard, my hubby, is packing our bedroom at the moment. So excuse the noises. Do we start with the fun, or do we start with the boring? Let's start with the boring because then it's done and we have the fun to look forward to. So up the top here, I have this 2x4 calyx, and I'm not sure if this is staying in the new craft room because I have a 5x5 which has my albums in it out in the dining room, and I think that's coming in. So yeah, this might not be here, but up the top I just have my favourite art books. I love to collect art books, and they're all up there in rainbow coloured order, And then this is the shove box. And we just put things that need sorting up there. Then if we come down here, I'll pull out this tub so that you can get a better look at it. So this is a tub from IKEA, which I really like because they fit perfectly in the IKEA Calyx units. And it's a really good size. Plus I like the ones that you can't see through. But this has all of my spare notebooks, which, yes, there's quite a few of them, but I do use them, and I love to include the different types of note pages like these ones in my junk journals. So most of these are from, oh, this is a nice one too. Look at that. That's nice for a junk journal. But a lot of these are either from Kino Kuniya, I hope I'm saying that right. It's a beautiful bookshop in Sydney. Some Muji ones. Got all sorts of different graph papers and things. Oh, Rhodia paper is beautiful. And then a random goals journal. So that's that. And this container here, I think this is just a cheapie that I might have got from Kmart or Big W. I just found it was easier to corral all of my smaller notebooks in. These are all my Traveller's Notebook inserts. They're the 003 from the Traveller's Company brand, and they're really hard to get here in Australia. So I did, oh, my phone's ringing. Sorry peeps, Dad was coming to pick up our spare Christmas tree, or our old Christmas tree for them to use. But so down the bottom here we have some bigger ones. These books from Muji are stunning. If you ever go there, the paper is glorious. It gives me kind of Hubby vibes, and they were only a few dollars, so I bought a couple of them because I want to do something with them. So they're here, and then down here we just have some bigger ones, some graph paper and all of those things, and then some larger notebooks on the side. So this has been really handy for corralling all of the notebooks, and I do use them. I know it looks like I have a ridiculous amount, but I do use them and go through them quite quickly. Now in this next section, this is something that I really like. So this is an IKEA, it's like a pantry shelf, and this is something I'll carry across to the next craft room, and this just has my layouts that I've made. My layouts that I've made, hang on, let's get the glare off that one, that don't belong in my normal scrapbook album. So they might be my childhood album, they might be albums that have not yet been made. So there's one that is Aaron's childhood, and so I have to put that together. So they just go here after I film the videos for them, for me to sort later. And then these are notebooks in action at the moment. These two cupboards, they hide a lot of things. These are my junk cupboards, and yeah, so this one, for example, is not being used properly. It has my receipts from the year 2020 to 2021. It has some random photos. I think I took these to a crop once and then never did anything with them. And that's a box of random. So in the new house, these cupboards need a proper purpose. It's just a bit hard because, just to give you context if you're a new inklet, we moved here in early 2020, a week before lockdown started. And so that was tricky with daycare and things. The kids are off daycare for a little bit, and so my plans of setting up the craft room properly did not go to plan because they were home, and at the time Violet was 4 months old and Arch was almost 3, and that's a fun time in life to have a almost 3-year-old and a little bubba. So things did not get set up the way that they were going to, and I've kind of always just had, we're going tangent for just a moment, I've always just not enjoyed this house. We rent, and the previous property we were in we loved, and we were settled and finding our groove. We'd been there for a couple of years, and the overseas international landlords decided they wanted to move to Australia. I'm pretty sure they came from China to Australia at the start of 2020. Can't blame them for wanting a quick move. So we had about 4 weeks to find a new place that was pet friendly and had enough bedrooms for me to have a room, for the kids to have a room, and Aaron to have an office because he works from home as well. So it was stressful. There were 3 properties on the entire Central Coast where we live, which I think takes about an hour to drive from one end to the other. So that's fun. So we settled on this place, and it's never just worked properly for us. So the move is exciting. We haven't bought yet, but it's just a better situation for our family. So let's continue with, oh, and I realized I didn't introduce myself. If you've just stumbled across this video and don't know who I am and what I do, so I have a main channel called Inkie Quill, which is where I do scrapbooking, project life, DIY embellishments, crafty things. And then I have an arty channel which is called Let's Get Inky, where I do art journaling, travelers notebooks, craft room things, painting things, all the things. And then I also have a Patreon where I post 8 videos per month exclusive to there, and I have a monthly printable collection that I design too. So yeah, that's who I am. Alright, let's continue. And I'm full of tangents. You should know that. Alrighty, so this is one of my favourite little cubicles, and that will be staying in the new craft room. I'm thinking of having just this one and not the top one, because I think that will work in the space. We'll figure it out. But this has all of my either traveller's notebooks that I'm working in or art journals that I've slightly started or want to start. So for example, this one is a Aussie, is it Aussie? I'm pretty sure it's Aussie. Yeah, Aussie magazine that I love, and a beautiful friend gave me, and I am converting it slowly into an art journal. So there's that one. This I bought. Paper lovers will understand. This is a bookings diary for 2022 for like restaurants and things, and I just loved the paper and the thickness, and it reminds me of this journal that I used to have as a kid, that I started as an art journal. So I was thinking of doing this with the kids maybe, and carrying on that tradition of having a big chunky diary as an art journal. And then what else do we have here? I've got, I bought these from Muji too. These are just little blank notebooks, but I gave one for a Mother's Day present last year, and I had the kids draw little pictures and write about the person that it went to, which was really cute. This is my current traveller's notebook. She's chunky. I am going to need to move into my new one soon, but that's the one that I'm currently working in. It's a bit hard to see, but I have lots of videos on Let's Get Inky if you're interested in that. This is my next traveller's notebook, which I'm very excited to use, which was a beautiful gift. And then this is, oh, see, just little projects. I made this in a cricket video, and wow, and that's gone. And then, yeah, just all sorts. This is my original traveller's notebook, that if you're an OG Inklet, you'll remember this one. I think this is pre-kids? 17. Yeah, it is. Wow, it's pre-kids. That's pretty amazing. Oh, it's Archie being born. So that's nice to look back on. And I'm just going to leave those there and not put them back to make life easier. Over here we have my paper storage. Now, paper and I prefer paper pads just because they're easier to get and they're cheaper. So here in Australia, a piece of paper like this would be $2.50, probably $2.50 to even $3 each. And so it adds up. And so a lot of these papers I've had for a while, and I really need to go through. This is one of my favourite papers of all time. Zoe, please make more polka dot papers because I just love it. I've used it so many times. But yeah, these are just all random papers, and I've had this for a long time. It's I think it's called the Caviezel from IKEA, and I've just separated them into black, white and neutral, coral, pink and red, turquoise and blue. There was text papers in there, but there isn't anymore. And then the colours that I don't use as often, yellow, orange, green and brown. And then up the top is either specialty papers or multicolours are up here as well. But it doesn't fit 12 by 12 properly, so this is how it normally fits in. But I just pull it out and sit them in there. So that works out well for what I need it to. It's been around for a lot of years, working well. I know these days though that there are companies that make specific paper storage ones which are probably more functional than that, but when I bought that was all that there was out there. This is what I call my functional papers. So we've got the supportive bases. We've got some white cardstock, vellum. There's a couple of there's a paper pad in. What are you doing in there, mysterious paper pad? Well, that's not supposed to be in there. I have all different types of watercolor paper and just a whole bunch of papers that I need. There's some printables that I need to use and more printables from my Patreon, and then some manila folders. So this was a tub that was working well at the old place, but when we moved here, it just became a shoving ground. And so, yeah, I'd like to make it work again. But this has things for my en masse journal. So for example, this magazine I like to cut up and use for that specific journal. It has things for Archie's daycare album, which I haven't started, which he's starting big school next year, so we're 5 years behind there. And some of my older Patreon printables. So this needs reworking, but I do really love these trays for the calyxes, and this is just a tub that I picked up who knows where, a cheapy shop somewhere. This has nothing in it. That's effective, and my stapler just slips in there so that I can't lose it, because I am forever losing this thing. Alright, I want to be truly transparent with you guys and honest, because there are a lot of parts of this that aren't working, but I've known we were moving for the last 6 months, and so actually longer than that, about the last 7 or 8 months. And so I didn't want to bother reorganising things because I knew that they'd change. This has some paper that I stole from the children because they don't use it. And a bunch of, they're Violet's birthday cards from her party this year. This had stamps in it, and I just never reached for them. So this needs changing in the new house. But I've got my foam stamps, and then some stamps that I use for art journaling at the back. My gel plate is just shoved here, and then some journals as well. So this needs redoing. In here, this is another tub from IKEA, and I think they're only about $5. So these are the 2 different tubs that I have from IKEA. There's these hard plastic ones and then the cotton ones. I prefer these ones, but these are $25 each, I think, and these are only $5. So yeah, these are nicer though, and I feel like they support your stuff better. But whatever's in your budget, you make it work. This has all of my Cricut stuff in it. So all of my rolls and mats on the side there, and then I just put all of the, there's blades and things in this pouch. But at the new house I have a trolley specific for my Cricut, so that I can pull it out and use it a bit easier. So that will change as well. This is it looks like a it looks like a container that has random rocks in it, and you would be right. These are future videos in the making. So these rocks I'm actually using as, what are they called? Like labels for my veggie garden, and I'm going to paint on them and do that. So yeah, that's why there's rocks in here. And then this is something that a lot of people would recycle. This was the case that my phone cover came in, but I want to create a journal out of it. So these things just hang out in here, and this has to change a little bit because this is prime real estate that is taken up by things that I don't reach for a lot. Same it with here. So this is my buy it and try it videos. I still have a buy it and try it that I haven't filmed yet. I have two actually. So they go in there until I have a chance to film them for YouTube. This one is Patreon videos. So I started, I want to start the Wreck This Journal, and there's all sorts of things under there. I have this beautiful little diary that I made that I want to get back into. Yeah, all sorts of video ideas in there. And look, there's another one of them. So if you're interested in seeing, you know, a lot more random videos, I'm not going to be able to get that back in, am I? There we go. We've got some canvas paper I want to do some things on. This was a mini kit that I made for a mini journal of Violet that I'm still going with. So yeah, lots of things in there. Ooh, what's in this mystery box? I don't even know. This is more video ideas. So this was a journal that I made in a Heidi Swap class that I actually want to, you know, do some things in. So that's a video. So my smash book, paint chips that I want to make into a book, all sorts of things. So these video ideas I feel need to be in one single tub. And I realise how much I've gas bagged in this video. We might make it a two-parter. I think this tub is hard to get to because it has a layout stuck to it. But this again has video idea things. So Aaron started a traveller's notebook, and I have some happy mail that I wanted to use in a video. So it's all happening in these tubs. They need to be reworked a bit. Down the bottom I have my, if you can see that, there we go, my A3 sized paper, so my big bits, and a couple of books that I pull journaling pages from. And then I might take you down, whoa, there we go, I might take you down low for these bits. All right, we're off the tripod. This tub here is one of my most used in the entire craft room. This is my stationery stuff. So we've got normal printer paper, we've got my digital premium paper that I like to print things on. We have a whole bunch of page protectors, lightweight, heavyweight, all the weights, and then what is that box? Ah, sticker paper and a random display folder. So I do use this tub an awful lot, and I think if you're putting this much paper in, one of these guys would not cut it. So if you're going to make it very heavy, you need something a bit sturdier like this. And then down the bottom here, I have a surprisingly organised part of the craft room because I don't touch it very often. This is page protectors. And I do have more page protectors than this out in the lounge room because I was doing some couch scrapping and organising photos. But sorting your page protectors in older albums that you don't really care about, like this faded one here, is so handy. It's so much easier than the boxes. So I just have different page protectors for different things. So, you know, 12 by 12s, smaller inserts. I also use these quite a bit. So these are just a, sorry, it's out of focus. These are just a plastic container that I get from Officeworks, and so this has all of my 6x8s in there just to keep them contained a little bit. Let's see if I can get that back in. There we go, and we're back in focus. And again here I just keep my full ones in one. So yeah, page protectors, handy dandy. Now I'm a bit embarrassed about this one. I love the Alex straws. So these are the Alex straws from IKEA. These are the larger size, and this only got put here maybe 6 months ago, and because I knew the move was coming and I have plans to use this in a different way at the new place, I haven't organised it or filled it. I don't even know what's in here. There's just, there you go. Oh, it's my Christmas box. Oh, I was looking for this. If you watch me on Patreon, I did a big rant about how I couldn't find my Christmas box. Well, there she is. There we go. Christmas box. What have we got in here? A bunch of containers and Christmas paper. So this just currently houses a few random bits and bobs, but these drawers are fantastic if you're a crafter and looking for something for your craft room. Highly recommend. Those are the journals that I pulled out that I haven't put away yet. And this is my Cricut, which is just hanging here. I've got this IKEA box that I use for my couch scrapping just popped up there, ready for the next couch scrapping kit to be made. It's so hot in my craft room right now. I did realise that I didn't explain what couch scrapping was. So couch scrapping is where I make a mini kit of supplies with the hope to use up some of my older stash and a few new things thrown in there as well. And I sit on my couch and I scrapbook at night, and it's just a really nice way to just catch up. I find that that's the way that that's the only way that I'm ever going to catch up on my scrapping. So I've done 6 previous couch scrapping kits and they're all over on Patreon, and I do flip throughs of all the pages that I made. I think last time I made about 200 pages, and the current flip throughs that I'm filming at the moment, I made 3 albums worth of layouts, so probably about 200 pages as well, so they're really fun. Alrighty, let's swing you around this way. So keep in mind that we're moving, so things are kind of boxed and ready to go. This is my Christmas stuff. This is my current Christmas stuff, and now I can add that other Christmas stuff to my current Christmas stuff. This is a box that just has the things that I'm currently working on, and I don't want to lose them in the move, so I've put them in a nice colourful gift box that I had lying around from Violet's birthday, so that I don't misplace it. These are some more Alex drawers, and these ones do get a bit of a workout, but not as much as the other set that I have. So with my desk, it's just a tabletop from IKEA, my favourite place, resting on the Alex drawers. So it's not, you know, connected in any way. It's just really heavy and hard to move, so it stays there. So this top drawer is, now it looks a mess, but it's not as bad as it looks. Tissues. And then this is my white cardstock that I usually use. And then if I'm halfway through scrapping and have a photo that's a spare one, I just pop it in here to sort later on. The next one is my spare washi tape, which I need to use more often. And I'm hoping in the new house that this drawer will be closer to where I sit, which is just there. It doesn't look like far, but when I'm filming it's more than arm's reach, so I'd have to get up and it would affect my filming process. So I do want to move those over. And then this is my printer stuff drawer, so I have ink and some extra paper, and then I also have my ATG double-sided tape refills so I don't lose them. This is a pretty drawer. Hang on, let me move the tripod and move you down a little bit so I can pull it out. So this is my extra paint supplies. Sorry about the view, it's a bit tricky with the tripod leg in there. So I have my extra roller stamps, my giant roller stamp, some spare paints that I need to use up, and these scribble sticks, which I've never been able to get quite into, but I think I haven't given them enough of a chance. As you can see, they're barely used. And then right down the bottom is my tape, which just all hangs out there in a big tapey party pile. And while we're bent down at this angle, I might do these drawers too. This top one gets used a lot. So this was something that I made recently. I did a video on Patreon where I cleaned up and resorted some things in the craft room and talked a bit about organisation and things, and this is all of my current stickers. Hang on, we're looking at it from the wrong angle. There we go. So I've made it so that when I sit in my chair I can just reach things really easily. So here I have my larger new stickers, so these are all new ones to my stash, as well as some smaller paper pads. And then I have, it's a bit hard to see, but there's a letter holder down here where I have all of the puffy stickers and the tiny words. And then this one has loose ephemera and then these sticker rolls, which are really hard to deal with. And then up the back there's some wood veneer and some frames as well. These drawers are also from IKEA. I just didn't put the wheels on. I think they're marketed as under the bed storage, but I just don't put the wheels on and layer them on top of each other. This drawer also gets a lot of use, and I've kept these things in here for probably the last 4 or 5 years, and it works out really well. This is my cheapy paint, so all of my, you know, $2 shop paint, and then some extra pens, my matte gel medium, my brayer, and some permanent markers, and then these are what I use to put in between my pages of my art journal when I work in them, so they just flop on top. So now we've done these drawers, I'm trying to do all of the bottom stuff first. Under my desk I have a bag, that blue and white striped bag from Officeworks. It's just their carry bag, but it's really big, and I use that as my recycling bin. I just pop everything in there. I have some paper towel and a board that I sometimes take photos on. And then let's do these drawers over here. So this top drawer also gets a lot of use, and I'm glad that it's within arm's reach to my table. This is how I store all of my thickers. These are just some that I've shoved back and I haven't put in the right spot. But I use the 6x12 page protectors from American Crafts or Project Life, however you look at the branding, and I just put all of my thickers in here in order. So we start off with gold, because that's what I use most, and then we go into white and black, and then over here are my coloured ones, and it just makes it really easy to see which ones have enough letters left. So highly, highly, highly recommend putting your thickers in page protectors like this. It's so much easier than dealing with the plastic packaging that they come in, or you could just chop off the top so that you can slip it in and out. It just makes it so much easier than dealing with putting them fully back in the package. Now this bottom drawer, she's a hot mess, but this is my junk journaling drawer. She's a hot, hot mess. Let me just tilt you down a little bit. There we go. And so she's got all the papers that I use for junk journaling, and I need to clean it out. But again, I knew we were moving, so I didn't want to go through it because I was trying to get ahead with videos and filming and things. So that's a project for the next house. So I've realised how long I've talked in this video. I shouldn't have been surprised, because I do like a good tangent. I'm going to split this craft room tour into 2 parts, just to make it easier for you to keep track of where you're up to and what you've watched. And so I'm going to do the top of the desk and that storage over there, in the next video, which will be uploaded tomorrow. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Make sure you're subscribed and notification bell and all of those things that the YouTube peeps say. But thanks for joining me along this so far. And look, she's got a lot of things that works for her, but she also has a lot of things that don't. And I love organisation, but sometimes it's hard when you're stuck in a rut and you don't know how to make things work, or, you know, it's hard. So I'm hoping, starting off on a clean slate in the new place, I can figure out, you know, what's not working and what needs to be put in other places. I didn't talk about the craft room doors of doom. So this has a whole lot of stuff in it. It has a myriad of things. It has kids things, it has craft things, it has storage things, it has childhood memory things, all sorts of things that I need to go through. It's a bit like a Monica closet if you watch Friends. If I open the doors, who knows what will happen. It's not that bad, but it's bad. And so in the new place I need to go through, and I'm hoping to put some of like the video ideas things in the wardrobe at the new place. Anyway, I'm going to upload the next part of this craft room tour tomorrow. Thank you for watching today, peeps, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to follow me on Insta stories, you might see behind the scenes of setting up the room and things, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!